So, hi Leo, this is your Tarology forecast for August 2020. We're going to look at what each card influences on each one of your astrological houses throughout August. And you can use this forecast for your sun, your moon, or your rising sign. Now, your first house of Leo that represents you, and you have the Knight of Swords, and he is joined by the sun on the 22nd when it moves into Virgo, and Mercury also enters Leo, I think on the 5th until the 20th. And also the new moon is happening in this house too on the 19th. So lots of things going on in this first house. Now the Knight of Swords is the fly by the seat of his pants type of character. He strives for freedom and he believes in himself. So it's a very positive start to the month, Leo. And this knight is rushing to do something. He's thought of something that's challenging and now he's on his way. So this card says you're really not scared of what adventure is ahead of you. On the contrary, you are raring to go, getting ready for a launch, a meeting, a new job. Romantically, this card is the typical knight in shining armour too. So on August the 17th, Mercury is conjunct with the sun, which is going to shine a light of creativity. And with his sword, you'll just be full of ideas on how you can be creative and get this sort of very resourceful energy totally, like under control. And the new moon also on the 19th around the same time, and you'll be looking for like a praise, if you like, in what you're doing, because you'll be proud of yourself for starting something that's new and exciting exactly where you want to be. So there are decisions to be made this month, but don't fear them, because with these powerful aspects you'll be really resolute in making these decisions. Now there are lots of aspects this month for Mercury, but on the 17th Mercury is trine with Mars, and for yourself this will give you the ability to think on your feet. Now you could act with haste, but you'll be controlled and accurate at the same time. This house being represented by the Knight of Swords is it's very positive for your thinking and the ways you work things out for the best, and all your plans and ideas, they're going to start to fall into place around the mid-month of August. Now your second house, which is money, possessions and what matters to you, Leo, is the Fool, and it's in the earthy Virgo. Now, when the sun moves into Virgo on the 22nd, and although this is a practical energy, you'll be able to really concentrate on what you're trying to achieve. You'll sort of strive better, achieve better in what you're trying to do, and you'll have like an order. And this represents you're going for it. Sometimes we just need to like take a leap of faith to get ahead in life, and this month the Fool will strengthen your motivation. It's not about taking bad risks, because the Fool is upright. It's about confidence to grab your dreams with both hands, your finances, your security, everything that's important to you, Leo, is on a positive footing. So you need to make this leap to flourish, to feel the energy of being proud of yourself and what you do. And around the same time on the 20th, Mercury leaves Leo and enters Virgo. An exciting aspect here is when Mercury is trine with Uranus on the 25th. Now, Uranus is the planet of revolution, transformation, change, and this will inspire you. And don't forget, Uranus rules the Fool in tarot, so this is going to give you the ability to be spontaneous and create new things for yourself. So incredibly positive for your finances and your work, Leo, throughout August. It's also very positive for anybody in relationships. So with the Knight of Swords and the Fool in the first two houses, this may be the push that you need to be a bit more spontaneous with that person that you've perhaps had your eye on, or a chance to show yourself to somebody. Now, the third house in Libra, and you've got the Ten of Pentacles. Now this highlights your thinking and the way you're communicating with others. It also speaks about early education, but straight away, Leo, it's obvious that there's a period of abundance coming. This abundance will stretch to all areas for you. You'll be getting out more, meeting people, working probably as you did before, or in a way that's just as effective. It's something tangible, secure and reliable for you this month, Leo. You'll perhaps find ways to make communication even easier, therefore bring more business to your door, finding new ways of talking to potential partner that perhaps you don't live with. Now in Libra, the scales of balance are equal for you this month. The air sign will give you a surge of energy to these pentacles in this house. And all that you've been planning and thinking about in your first house with the Knight of Swords is like a positive conductor for the Ten of Pentacles. So it's saying you've done your homework well. And now it's time for the rewards will start to happen for you, and the rewards will be the rewards of abundance. So the fourth house is in Scorpio with the Page of Swords. And again, another sword is about your roots, home, family, your foundations. Now, although you don't have any particular aspects here in Scorpio, the Page of Swords is talking like about moving on to the next phase. So it's the planning, the thinking it up, the action in it. This guy stands alone and he's quite undeterred from what is in his head. He's got fresh challenges to deal with. Now in this house, for some of you, this can be a challenge that you must undertake alone. It's a decision about why you're at the place you're at the moment. This decision will, for some of you, refer to a new relationship or a person in your life. It's an eager energy that can sometimes have an approach to family life with a pushing of boundaries, also which can be potential for family disagreements. So, because the page has a need to express himself regardless of the fallouts, if you like, that it may cause, and that's the immaturity of the card. But in Scorpio, which is a very emotional sign, and it's got a little bit of a sting now and then, and this may represent that some of you will be saying, what's on your mind really before you're ready to, or have really thought it through. So saying how you really feel to people close to you, you've just got to be a little cautious. So if there's things that are a bit up in the air with your relationship, then the page may blurt it out, or the issues are quite matter of fact, which could upset those close to you emotionally. So be aware. If you're single and looking, then the Page of Pentacles in Scorpio is good sign for the start of something emotionally exciting, a fresh young energy to build new foundations on. And with your fifth house of love, fertility, children and creativity is the Four of Swords. And another air card, just immediately, this says to me, there is, loads on your mind this August, Leo. You've been thinking a lot. But the Four of Swords in Sagittarius wants you to take stock of your love life, Leo. Don't forget about your partner this month. It's perhaps an opportunity to take a bit of a respite, relaxing on a mini vacation. But this card is time to cut certain things in your life too. Perhaps things that you need a break from, a chance to retreat into yourself for a short while, a nice holiday retreat, a break away from the humdrum. Even if it's only for a while, the break will be amazing and refresh you. And this card's in Sagittarius, which is a sign that is such a powerfully creative sign that you'll need to gather your strength to receive this creativeness that the universe wants to show you. Now the fours are about stability and hope, and I hope that you will achieve it. This card also suggests that, for some of you, the new beginning is in place and all set to go. You've contemplated and now you're ready to create that new place for yourself. Now we move on to the sixth house, and that relates to your health, your duties, your routines and your responsibilities, and you've got the Six of Swords. Yet more air. So this card is in Capricorn with the big planet Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto. Now Jupiter is trine with Mercury on the 29th. So right at the end of the month. And don't forget that Mercury is in your first house with the Knight of Swords. But in the sixth house with the Six of Swords, it can represent a need for travel. Well, we've all been locked down for so long, it's completely understandable. But the Six of Swords loves a vacation, a retreat, just like the Four of Swords. But with the Six, there is some baggage that needs sorting first. And it's not about your suitcases in the loft. It's about getting your responsibilities where you want them and not where they have you at the moment. Then you'll be able to create this harmony. Now, this card depicts two travellers moving from choppy waters into smoother waters, en route to a better existence. It's the promise of a new beginning. And that, Leo, is exactly you this month. It's time to release all the things that are holding you back and go forward with confidence. The earthy Capricorn wants to make you feel secure, but first you must move forward for that to happen. Now, with Jupiter in Capricorn, while you want it to be a very big part of your community or friends, you're also aware that you need a place where you can be independent. And this is part of the getting rid of the baggage. Sometimes we need to break the mold and do our own things, and the routine and the responsibility is in this house in Capricorn. It's solid, and you can break the mold with this. Now, moving into the 7th house of personal and professional relationships is in Aquarius, with the full moon on the 3rd, and you have the Ace of Wands. And it's a very creative card, but with complicated emotions. And to boot, the moon is in opposition to the sun. So this is where the true moon energy, the full moon energy, I should say, may be felt for you this month, Leo. It could rile things up for you, make you feel a little contradictory or disagreeable. But with the Ace of Wands, that suggests you'll have the benefit of remaining in control over your love life or your professional life. Because the Ace of Wands has a potential of renewing things that are broken or in need of a quick fix. That's the creative energy of this fire card. This could in fact form a sticking plaster to a relationship wound, a new way of making your love life feel a little more rejuvenated or renewed, especially if there's been some small issues. This card is a great omen for new relationships too. So if you're single and looking, then, hang on in there until August. And if you're creative with your expression and how you express yourself and your confidence when you're out and about, who knows? It's about redoing yourself for the better, showing the real person within. The lotus flowers on this card, they sink down into the water every night, and the next day they re-emerge all refreshed and lovely. Imagine if we could do the same. And this is the message here: change your approach perhaps. It's all possible if you create it. Now, if we move on to the 8th house, this is in Pisces with the 5 of Pentacles and Neptune, who is in his home planet here. Now, this house represents things that you share, inheritance and self-searching. Now, the 5 of Pentacles is in a totally emotional sign of Pisces with Neptune, who's a very intuitive planet. So you've got a positive aspect when Venus is trining Neptune, and that's giving you the optimism and resourcefulness, if you like. But you've also got Mercury in opposition with Neptune, and when Mercury is in Virgo later in the month, this is not until the 30th. But this is where you can lack a little confidence. But with the opposition of Mercury and Neptune, which can highlight sort of deceptive or complicated behaviour. So you're the 5 of Pentacles in a house of sharing. So some of you feel you're perhaps searching for something that cuts out the need for sharing. But this card with these aspects can also suggest a lack, or at least you are focusing on lack. So look at the card. You're alone here and not accepting help from the big guy in the window perhaps. I don't know what that's all about, Leo, but maybe you're ignoring his plea. Maybe, your shared resources may be a little strained at sometimes through this month, Leo. So that's going to need sorting. For some, this could suggest inheritance and the feeling of lack and loss that might bring with it. And being on your own for some is all we want to do from time to time. But the 9th house of travel, ideas, philosophy, we've got the 9 of Swords, and that's in Aries with Mars. And when Mars is very comfortable planet in Aries, so which is excellent. Now the 9 of Swords is in this fiery sign with a fiery planet to boot, and all this air that is creating something that's whipping up an inferno in this house, if you like. So this segment of your life that is about travel, ideas, and your philosophical outlook on life is worrying and stressing for some reason from time to time, Leo. So while there looks like there is a possibility of anguish here, especially if you received any bad news that was associated with the Five of Pentacles, but this card says that there may be a separation that forces you to move, leave, travel, because you have the Fool in your second house. This says that the the stresses in the night are all a waste of time. It's like, don't worry about it. It's a natural progression to face demons so their energy can be extinguished. Your 10th house in Taurus with Uranus and the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card of challenges, but positive challenges, I'd say this card is. This house represents your ambitions, your career, your social status, and it's, are you working too hard, Leo? Are you getting the recognition you deserve? Does it all feel too much at times? Well, that's the message of the Seven of Pentacles, but it's keep going, because Uranus in Taurus for quite some time. So this is like a solid contender. And don't forget, Uranus is the planet of change and transformation and rebellion. Yeah, and the Seven of Pentacles is saying, God, I've been working hard on my career and my love life and da 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 da. But Uranus is, sextile to Venus on the 18th, which makes you want and need change. It's like, because you might be getting bored, or get very bored very easily otherwise. I've had enough of that. It's too much like hard work. Then you need to explore new places. So it's get out the garden, Leo. Get on that vacation. The 7 is an obstacle that you can quite easily overcome this month. 2 earths together, Taurus and the Pentacles. Things can get boring in work life or home life, or indeed your love life. And the travel thing may just be what you need this month. Even if it may feel a little like you're always paying for things with no rewards, because that's another reflection of this card in this house. But you've invested, and it's your relationship, and it will get there in the end. It's keep going is the message here I get from this card. Now, your 11th house in Gemini, and you've got the Lovers in its ruling sign of Gemini. Now, this house is about friends, groups, hopes, and it's a great omen for your love life, the Lovers in Gemini, but also a coming together, a merging of partnerships all around, really. So while you Leos long for perfection, some of you don't actually know that you already have it. It is where you're at right now. And so it's also a sign for you in another way to expand your friend circle this month, because let's face it, we've all been stuck in for so long, and there's a chance to get out and about more now, or for some of us, of course, safely, explore new avenues. Remember to spend quality time this month with friends and lovers, because this will turn your light on, literally, Leo, this month. You're going to really thrive on this. This is why the whole getaway on holiday, where you can, be with your partner or your friends and family, and it will be fab and useful. And where you also, if you're single, may meet that, special person. And of course, if you're single and looking. But as we know, the Lovers represents choices too. Now, this choice may represent, a meaning of aspects of your life that may not yet be in harmony. So bringing your love life closer and more included into your work life or project really might benefit you. So if you're coupled, Leo, then it might be wise to see how this inclusion could in fact transform the way things are now with your partner at this moment in time. Now, your 12th house in Cancer with Venus, from the 7th of August. And this house represents reflections, endings, subconscious. And the card here is your 5 of Cups. Now, a card you could see as an obstacle, but Venus is in the 12th house and is directly in opposition to Capricorn with those big retrograding energies. And Pluto is in opposition to Venus over in your 6th house of, your duties and routines and responsibilities. Now, this 6th house also represents your health. And because the 12th house is, what's in your subconscious around the 30th when this opposition manifests, it may bring with it like a great desire to get ahead and achieve. But this desire can be so strong to accumulate, you could find yourself with, paranoia or even suspicion, because you may be just concentrating on what isn't happening for you and not what positives are actually happening for you if you just look around. So it's, Leo, you must look behind you. Your cups are full. There are 2 of them. And this is the Pluto opposition. I can see you just concentrating on solely on losses and not what you've actually retained. So by the end of August, it's time for reflecting on the positives. Release the obstacles because it's just all an illusion. If you're seeing losses ahead or have experienced losses, don't lose sight of the person or persons who've got your back. Now, the dates I've mentioned for you to look out for, I'm going to post on a page for you on my site, thetarotmentor.com. So if you can't remember, just pop over there and have a look and check them out. Well, Leo, I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it resonates for you. And thanks for watching my Tarology cast. And if you like this video, then please hit the like button. And if you'd like notifications when I next post, then please hit the subscribe button. Thanks, Leo. Bye for now.